All right. Welcome to the FO show. This is yours truly, the FO. And we're doing a little something different, which is going to be a forum that I like to do. So I don't have to talk all by myself or to myself, or I like talking to y'all, but I would like to talk to somebody else. I'm talking to y'all. So today and for the foreseeable future, even though there might be other people, I got my boy Swellz. Now, Swellz is literally like if a person comes to your house just to visit, or a person comes to your house to sell you Avon or a vacuum cleaner for some reason, that's just a guest, real quick. Swellz is also a guest, but he's that guest that come over all the time. He borrows some milk, and then he sit down at the table, chop it up with you a little bit, and then somehow, some way, he gets the whole gallon of milk, and he was just supposed to get in a cup. But anyways, that's Swellz. So, like, you got the whole, like, bro. Like I just got from the grocery store. So, anyways, I don't want to tell you about him. I'd rather him tell you about him. So, get a floor to him, man. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up? Swellz. My real name is Ramses David Vasquez Marin. Swellz is a nickname I got a long time ago from working at a shop, being a nice guy, but that was about it. And now I'm just, here to family man, chilling, say what I want to say when we on the podcast. And just, what I'm saying, just a laid back dude most of the time till you say something retarded. And then I'm gonna, especially if it's towards me, But, I just like to talk a lot of shit, have fun, and that's about it.
All right. This is very unprofessional, but I did forget my phone, which got my topics on it. Which we ain't got to be professional. But this is my show, so it can be whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
I ain't talking trash. I'll just stating the fact. My bad. All right, man. So, anyways, this is our third take. And let me tell you about karma. I'm about to tell you about karma real quick.
Oh, karma's such a bitch.
This is a public service announcement. Karma. Things that's going to come back and get you. Maybe it's going to be later. Maybe it's going to be now. In this instance, it's now. The first time, I didn't hit the record button. My bad. Second time, Swellz was talking about me not hitting the record button. And then he felt like my carpet was thirsty. So he gave him something to drink.
Mm-hmm. That was karma. So
that
this is
karma.
The third take, like he said. The third take. So I didn't literally explain to y'all who I was, and this is the third time me doing it. And the first two times was literally, it was both our faults. I can't front, and now this is the third time. Third time's a charm.
That's what they say?
They say third time's a charm. There it is.
I already know how he got his nickname and everything like that. And I've had to listen to it 3 times now, and it was for y'all. So y'all better be appreciative of me dealing with that. All right?
Okay.
All right. So I got some little topics, and the topics could go anywhere. I mean, we might stay on the topic for like 2 seconds, and then it just segues into wherever it want to go into. So, without further ado, we're going to go into some of these. So let me see. Let me pick one. How about things we thought were normal? So with this, we're going to be like something that we thought, just because, when you were a kid or in your neighborhood or whatever, in your household, that's your world. So the things that happen in that household or in that neighborhood as a kid, that's your world. So obviously this happens everywhere. And as you get older and you go further than your neighborhood, further out the state, the country and stuff like that, you realize, oh, it's doing some weird shit.
Right. We were doing some outlandish shit.
Right.
I don't know why the fuck we was doing what we was doing. Nobody else was doing this.
Right, but we felt like
everybody was doing it. Right.
Now, there are some things, and it's weird, man, because of the things like how things get passed, not necessarily passed down, but passed over and stuff like that. Because I know lots of people that here or anywhere else that I've been whose parents told them that it was illegal to have your dome light on in your car while driving.
Which is
that is not illegal by no means.
No.
I mean, 'cause it literally can help you while you're driving sometimes because of certain things happening. So, yeah, they lied about that. And for some reason, like, you couldn't lie about that until you became a parent. And there's some point in time that you found out that that was a lie. And instead of not continuing lying to our younger generation, this ain't Santa Claus. We ain't got to continue this lie. Find out
we can end it. We can just be
end
like,
this.
Just leave the dome light on. Just turn it. If you need it on, just turn it on. Right.
Right. But no. Generations back, when they put the first top on the car with a light.
Did they say it then? Did they say? I mean, I want to know where it came from.
You know what it probably happened?
It got to come from somebody.
You know what probably happened?
What happened?
They have electric top. So the light up the top, it was just a candle, right? So it's a candle. So there was like, that's illegal to have that candle lit.
Because it was a candle.
Right, because you had a bump,
wasn't
boom.
A light.
Right.
And then the wax would fuck you up, G.
Right, and then
especially if you driving, and what did you just do? A bump?
Over with. You got little Johnny right there, fresh from the hospital.
Oh yeah, you know that's fourth degree burn right there.
Fourth degree.
That's gonna fuck
4.5.
Yeah, that shit settle, and then what you gonna do?
Right.
So something happened.
So it was illegal to do that.
Something happened. Well, I don't even know if it was illegal because, like, back in the day, there wasn't a lot of laws that helped people out.
It was highly discouraged.
It was probably like, hey, if you drive, don't turn on your candle while you're driving.
Right.
It might,
because they turned on candles back then. We light them today.
We just have them to smell good. I don't.
Right. Candles have no actual practical
other than smelling good.
Right.
Now, if we get to the apocalypse and shit goes sideways, then obviously candles that smell good will be lighting our way. But other than that, like you said, yeah, somebody got fucked up back in whenever.
It was 1927. I think that's what I read.
I don't know when it was.
I'm making this up too. But.
And that sounds good to me. We'll say 1927.
It was
Henry.
It was
how about this? When Henry Ford said, "I'm gonna put a top on my joint and we're gonna put a candle and hang it there."
That was his cousin, who he should have never let work at the Ford Motor Company.
You know what? It's sometimes cousins fuck you up.
That was Rico.
That was.
I don't think there was no white man named Rico back in 1927.
That was a nickname.
That's how you knew it was a problem. Though.
It was a nickname.
Because Rico, his name couldn't have been Rico.
It was a nickname.
His name was Fredrickson.
It was something.
Right.
It was Henry. So think of something that went along. It was his name was probably really Philip
Philip Ford.
Philip Ford sounds.
And they call him
right.
Philly Ford.
Yeah, you know, I knew a cat named Philly Fat Sacks.
He never been to Philadelphia.
Like this, yo. Anyways, go ahead.
He never been to Philadelphia either.
Probably not, but Philly, yeah, Philly Ford. He was like, "Hey, I got an idea.
Right.
Let's hang a candle in the middle of the fucking car.
Right.
So if we need to see something, and then when somebody got fucked up off the candle, they might have made it ill. But see, I don't know at what point when somebody other than then, because then eventually your boy Ben Franklin, whatever. Well,
Ben
no,
Franklin.
he was actually way before.
Yeah, he was way before that.
But then they decided to put it in the car. Put it like that's what I was thinking. They put the electricity in the car.
I'm mad that you even had Benjamin Franklin in cars.
I was just like electricity. The
cars.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. Electricity. This nigga. Who did electricity? Let's sound intelligent.
He just died in 1976, actually.
Was
That's what it was. I swear.
You talking about Ben Franklin?
I read it in the newspaper, and I was born in '84. This timeline's all messed up. It's like the Spider-Verse or something like that.
It might have been.
Whatever.
I know Doctor Strange, but anyway.
Right.
So the fact that
It was my high school teacher.
until I didn't go to high school.
Well, dude got walked out in cuffs, and we still ain't found out why.
It happens.
This was 1928. Right after that.
It happens. Philly Ford.
Philly Ford. We back on Philly Ford.
Put the electricity in the whip.
No electricity. Fire. It was fire.
No, Philly put the fire.
Philly Ford, yeah.
Philly Ford put the fire. Then who eventually came back? Was it one of his nieces or something that said, okay, the candle gotta go?
No, Philly Ford and everybody from that side of the family, they couldn't work at the Ford Motor Company no more. See, Henry, he still was alive and well, kicking or whatever, right? Because he died in 1952, right?
Let's see.
He's making up dates. This makes it that much better. We make them up, but we got to remember them. Because 1927 is when they put that thing up in there.
Is the candle.
The candle. But
because Philly now, with the candle.
Back then, 27. As far as recalls, there was no need for a recall. They just told people, don't put candles up there.
Don't do that.
That was the first recall, but it was a letter that said, don't put candles.
Was it a letter?
It was a letter. They did the little wax thing on it and everything.
You mean like the stamp wax thing?
Yeah, and they were all handwritten. And at that time, it was like,
this is 20, this is 28?
27. It took
that's when they put the candles in there. So 28 is when they sent out the letters like.
No. Philly Ford did this. That first accident was 3 months later.
So it was still 27.
It was still 27. This was February when he put it out.
So when so
it was about May.
Okay.
But, because it was like 17 car owners, and the letter was long. I don't know what there was to explain, except for don't put a candle in a dome candle light holder. Took a long time, and he had to sign his name on all of them. Then seal and stamp them. Every letter went out.
All 17 letters.
All 17. Might have been 20 with the that couple of limited edition ones. And back then they were individually numbered. One of three,
one of one,
2 of 3, 3 of 3. So you had to get them out. So those went out, and it was first recall first vehicle recall in recorded history.
In 28. 29.
It took the 28. No, we ain't to 20. Stop. You're moving too fast.
I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions.
Philly Ford in 27 of February.
I'm really holding it back like this nigga Philly. Fuck shit up so bad. Like, Philly made us think that turning your dome light while driving was illegal. And it never was.
Right. It never was.
It just started off where it fucked people up because it was a candle. But okay, so we get it. So that it's not illegal.
It's not.
It's not. So like, what was something else that was told as a child, or what's either another subject or another.
What you got?
Let me think. I always was told when I was a kid that if you ate carrots, it made your eyesight better.
That's not true at all.
That's not true at all. Now I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat carrots because it's good for you, but that's just like when they told us that milk was good for like your bones and calcium.
They don't say that no more.
No, because it's not true. That was one of those. But see, y'all might not have been told that. Because I'm not talking to people that are because if you're either my age, then you were told it. But if you're younger, then they didn't even tell you that.
Because they knew right then.
Because they already knew. They was like, they know.
See, on that one, they quit that a lot because I swear it's parents still, it's somebody right now. It's a parent right now telling their kid, turn the goddamn light off. In the car.
Or you need to drink your milk.
But I'm saying that ended sooner than.
No, but I'm saying that there were still
Philly
people.
Ford did this in 27. These milk commercials ended in like, what? Early 2000s?
Was it early 2000s? I'm waiting for you to give me a good year that I can. That okay? You know, if you want to say early, hey, we'll work with 20. So 2000.
It's 2003.
I was gonna say one, but we'll do three.
It was the summer of 2003. I remember it like
that
it
they
was.
stopped.
Yeah,
they stopped telling us.
I remember it like it was.
So when did they stop telling? Did they ever?
Ago.
Okay, about the carrot. That was never on. That was never a commercial.
That was just one of.
That was one of those passed down.
I heard it was a war thing. Like they was trying to. They was saying that the soldiers. It was something. I don't know if it was Vietnam or one of the world wars.
That carrots had something to do with it.
Yeah, that it was giving our soldiers better eyesight or something. It was something like that. I could be lying. Unlike when I told you that big thing happened in 1927. That was completely true. Anyways,
that was one thing that was untrue. You know what? There was another thing that I was told as a kid. I don't know if they still say it now. I don't say it to my kids because they don't chew gum that much. But when I was a kid, they told me that if you swallow gum, it'll be in your stomach for 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
7. Like somebody came up with 7 years.
Right.
And it was like, holy shit, 7. And it's.
You know how much gum, you know how backed up you would be?
7.
I've eaten at least.
But see, you got to think. When I was told this, I was impressionable. I was a kid. So I believed it. This is like, so you got to think I'm thinking like when I was a kid, that fucked me up for a minute.
Absolutely.
Like, are you fucking kidding? If I swallow this gum, it's going to be in my stomach for 7 years. And I mean, when they was like telling me yes, they were so convincing. They wasn't even trying to hide it. They was like, hey.
No. Their parents lied to them too.
I mean, they said it so convincing. Like it was such, they had conviction in their heart. Because when I believe that they didn't swallow gum.
Right.
Because it was so, look, I swear to God, if you swallow this fucking gum, it's going to be in your system for 7. I promise you. Look at your uncle over there. You see how big that nigga is? That nigga ain't shit in 6 years. So, I mean, it had to be something.
He was just an alcoholic.
Yeah, and that's all it was. Probably had type 7 diabetes or some shit.
That's all it was.
I mean, it was like, yo, why?
So, but you ain't telling us this important stuff.
Yeah.
You ain't telling us the stuff that we need to start eating right and everything like that so we don't be like him.
Or
you lying to us about damn bubble gum.
Bubble gum.
Bubble gum.
All right.
But what was the other thing? What did I think was something that
you talking about a topic? Or?
Well, because I was talking about that same thing.
Okay.
We gon', Santa Claus. I feel that one. Santa Claus, I feel that one. A little bit, because some kids believe in Santa Claus.
For my kids,
yeah.
Yes.
No. You wouldn't even. No.
You mean like?
Don't believe. That's a lot of drugs you got to take if you believe in Santa. And you going out
like I mean, like if my child, we have them thinking that there's a Santa Claus, but like, I know I'm Santa Claus,
right?
But as far as for my child, I'm not gonna sit there and crush her fucking world just because.
Right.
I mean, I'll let her figure that shit out when she gets
older.
Absolutely. So when you ask me, do I believe in him? That's what I'm saying.
No. If you said yes.
Yeah,
the whole rest of this thing will be dedicated just to that. Like, I need to figure this out. Like, no. We're not talking about nothing else.
No, I don't.
And you're not even leaving. We're going to sit here.
I get it.
And try to understand.
No.
You and your wife know good and well you put every damn gift in front of that tree. And that's fine to give credit to that man.
That's just because.
But for you to believe it yourself, after you know that you just did that.
No, I went to work. I did overtime.
There's not enough drugs
back hurt
to support that.
I didn't drink enough Crown / tequila, vodka because of the hurt of going and working the overtime to make sure that she thinks that it was this dude, which I mean, she's starting to not thinking, but It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be the one to crush that. But do I? Fuck no, nigga. I know who
It's
who
cyclical,
it is.
man. And it's okay because there's a time. There's gonna be this Christmas where they believe, and then there's gonna be this Christmas where they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna be like, oh, you know. Then they're gonna ask you for all this stuff directly instead of asking him. And that's even more annoying. At least ask. It's better when they write that letter.
Because they little and they believe and they see the glee. I mean, like, you know, when my daughter, when we went to the mall, even with Memo, they looked at him like I guess I would look at, like, if I saw Jordan in the middle of the mall signing J's, giving them away,
Right.
I'm looking at that like, holy, what the? So they looking at Santa Claus like, yo, this is the dude that gets me whatever, you know, she's going down the list, and my son, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So so to see that, I mean, yeah.
But think about this though. And I know probably a small little group of them, but still. So kids who really, 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 really believe in Santa Claus, like invest emotionally in this fictional man, they think that he is omnipresent. They think he can see all, even behind closed doors. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake, which sounds like a creep to me, but whatever. He knows when you've been good or bad, so be good for goodness sake. So for this time frame that they believe in Santa Claus, they probably a little bit more on their best behavior. Because that next year, that they don't believe in Santa Claus, they know it's dad. And I'm over here, I'm 2 streets over. Dad can't see me. I'm going to be bad over here, and I'm going to come back and be good in front of dad. So I still get this stuff from dad.
Man, I don't like that at all. I wish I could chop them in their throat all the time.
You know, sometimes I have this thing, because one of my daughters pissed me off today. And I said it to my girl, too. I was like, sometimes, I only got daughters. Sometimes I wish that I could morph to a little girl and beat them up. And then act stupid when they come to me and they come to me and tell me, because we're never going to find their parents. It was like, and
you mean her parents. That's what you mean.
Her parents.
Her parents.
The parents. Me. They're never going to find me.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome.
She looked like she could be related to me
That
too.
is so awesome.
Like, baby, we can't find her.
And it would be so fast. You know what? You don't even have to have, or you would want to be a little girl so she knows.
I will make this so complex. I will take a picture when I go to when I turn to a little girl, so that I can put it on a missing poster, and I'm gonna show my daughter that. So then my daughter sees that, and now she feels sad because that little girl that beat her up is now missing. They're not gonna let me around my children. Oh, they're not gonna let me around my child anymore.
You know what? I have so many questions right now.
Oh, I feel like it's more questions.
Oh my God! I've never thought about that. But you know what?
It's a great idea.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, now that you've said it, and I've had time to, at least in the last 13 to 17 seconds, really think about
this. Got to marinate. It got to get in there
and see.
Yeah.
Now the daughter you're talking about that you would want to beat up, I'm not sure how old she is, but I'm gonna assume she's not like the younger one.
It's the youngest one. Yeah.
Is it the youngest one?
But any of them
how
can
old?
get it.
But how old is the youngest one?
11.
See, mine's 10. She hasn't want me to beat her. She hasn't gotten, I guess, to that point where I would. But
see, that'd be a little big
But you know
fight.
what? If I could fight like my other 2 kids, and don't get me wrong, I know my son, my middle son, you know, he's special needs, got downs, and I wouldn't want to fight him.
He the least special needs one,
but
I've ever seen.
he comes with it where I would want to have, because he exerts a lot of energy from me. And it's like if I was just younger and more energetic, I guess I could be energetic now, but I'm just not. But if
You
I
ain't gonna
was,
be tomorrow if you is today.
no, exactly. So if I was, like you said, if I would morph into when I was the most energetic, which I don't even know what year that was because I was probably the same.
I think it was 1930. I know it was a couple years
When
after
I was energetic.
after the recall.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Because
I'm that old. Okay.
Nah, I just fuck with Philly
No.
Ford. Philly Ford.
Philly
Ford.
just
That's my man.
Yo, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
He's
man.
the one that had Philly Fat Sacks. That's what we called him back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that. Well, anyways, but no, I morph into another little. That was the same age as your daughter, 10, 11.
And I got to be a girl too,
obviously, to beat her up, and then
right? Because if I turn into a little boy her age,
no, I get
then
it.
she's gonna expect me, even if he's missing.
I know it doesn't matter.
I need you to still find him.
You need to find
beat him up, then take him to the police,
but
and then blame the beat up on whoever kidnapped him.
No,
because I'm using the scheme.
You know what? You would want her to blame. But at the end of the day, it's still going to come back as, Daddy, why weren't you there to protect me? So, yes.
It has to be a girl.
It has to be a girl. So it doesn't come back to when you morph back into FO and be like, oh, baby, what happened?
Right.
What happened? Oh, you look, oh, man.
And I'm going to be in the mirror already.
You know what? What's even worse is, you've got to really.
Right.
That is when you're acting skills.
But you know what? That'll be going to, you're literally a little girl. She can't, by no reason, she's not looking up to you. You're not a person that's 2.5, 3 times bigger than her because she's so small. This is a person that's her size. So at no point in time would she suspect it's you.
No, not at all.
But how mad you are, but you're not going to be as mad because you know it was you. But you're going to have to fake that.
You're going to have to fake because we got to find her. And then when we see her picture, like, oh, but you know what? You should. I don't know. What if you do look like you?
I mean, they look like this. They look like sisters.
Okay. And then, but what I'm saying is, like, when she looks at the picture and then she looks at you and she looks at the picture and she looks at you, like, you know what would be horrible?
What's up?
If she were to even think about, Daddy, you know what? You know what I think happened? And she told you what you did? That would be
It would be better if she never says it, but she was like,
I know.
She looks at the picture.
Looks at
and
you.
then a double, and then she'd be like.
And like, what if you have like an outstanding mark, facial feature, whatever, and she's just like, wait.
It never says it. And then would you be able to go to sleep? Would you ever be able to go to sleep at home again?
You know what? Wait until you're like, what if you're like 77 or even older and you're on your deathbed and she's like, comes into your ear and whispers and lets you know, I know me that day, Daddy.
No,
and
what's
then
going
puts
to happen?
a pillow over your face, right? And you know.
No, she's going to be old. She's going to morph into an old person.
They kill you then. I'm still your daughter, Daddy.
Like, karma's a bitch. That's the long game, right?
That is the long game. Oh my God.
Man.
But I've never thought about more.
You gotta flip it. The whole thing gotta be flipped.
You know what? I have heard, like, my wife would say stuff like, she would, like, if she was a little girl, she would go to school and she would fuck up the little girls that would, because like my daughter would come home, so-and-so messing with me, but it wouldn't be that bad.
Right.
School is not that bad now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the teachers let them get away with enough. It's my teacher, you know, her teacher, and he has maybe like 19, 21 kids, maybe less. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't think it's no more than that. But the fact that, you know, it's him, she's not going through what like, I know the shit that I went through in high school and what you went through she's not going through none of that.
Right.
So when she says, it's drama to her. Like, oh my God. My wife be like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll fuck her parents up. I'll be like, but they little girls. I
Right.
mean, easy, princess. Put your lightsaber down. You don't need to go
Right.
kill everybody at the school because, I mean, I'm not
Let's
saying.
kill 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Sorry. That is not bad.
But still too. But I mean, I don't want nothing bad to happen to my daughter, but I don't be on that, you know, I'm gonna go and attack before I be like, hey, look,
Right.
let's have a, that's what I'm saying. That's where I know I've grown just as a person. Because before, oh, I'm like my wife. I'm coming through, I'm gonna, you know, throw an axe, and then I'm gonna be like, tell your son to stop fucking with my, or tell your daughter, you know what I'm saying? So,
And this, ladies
but
and gentlemen,
morphing
is why this morphing machine is going to be
oh my God,
a
I'm
major
never gonna
breakthrough.
stop thinking about this now.
Yeah. You could beat up your kids.
And but you know what? She's not at that. But eventually, I know she's, because everybody's like, oh, she's 10. Just wait till she becomes a teenager.
10.
And I'm like, okay, I can wait. I don't want to rush that. And if she's gonna be what everybody says, then I'm gonna probably want to morph into another little female. Because
And I don't.
my daughter is, she got a mouth already.
Right. I don't think any of my daughters can fight.
Ooh.
But what's crazy? You
Mm.
morph, but you keep your strength.
And that's what I was thinking. Were you
So,
gonna be as
I'm
strong as you were?
11-year-old with the strength of a man in my age. Because I don't want to say my age.
How old are you? Like 77, 79?
I was born in 31. So it's a little bit after.
31. So you're
Some
not
people,
100 yet.
Some people
Or
call
you
it 80.
know.
Some people call it 84. But whatever. I was talking to a Mexican person that was speaking Spanish, and they told me. I translated it.
84? We'll say you're 84.
Yeah, I
So
felt like
you got the strength of an 84-year-old man as
no, I was born in 84.
You said you was born in 30.
That would only make me 54.
Okay, so you were born in 84.
No, 54 in 84. Wait, when did Philly Ford die?
I don't know when he died. We just know when he fucked up the damn vehicle with the candle. I know that's what we were saying.
All records of Philly Ford have been. But you know what? We keep Philly Ford alive.
He's keeping Philly
with the morphing machine, some type of way. Morph into Philly Ford. Go into Ford Motor Company.
They wouldn't have you. They would be like, you the guy that fucked it up for about, you know, look at all those people that got fucked up with the damn wax. With the 4th degree, 5th degree burn.
But without the wax, when would you have got the damn hood lamps? Dome lamps, I mean. Everything that happens, literally an engine is controlled explosions. Okay. So how many times over the course of time when they were perfecting the engine was stuff exploding?
I don't know. A bunch of times. I bet you a bunch of people.
Philly Ford injured about 7 people. 17 had car. That's a high percentage. I just thought about that. That's almost half of the people.
That's a little less than half.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say? 41%?
Damn, Philly. Look, I'm trying to make Philly
41% of the people
keeping Philly alive, man.
He is keeping Philly.
Every major innovator made it to his mountain. He's a pioneer. The dude's a pioneer.
Something. He's
something. He's a pioneer. Philly Ford.
Philly Ford. We appreciate what you tried.
We're gonna do a whole episode on Philly Ford.
You gotta understand, Philly Ford, you tried. He gave us what to work with.
Right.
And was like, this is gonna work. I don't know how. I might fuck some of y'all up. But if you keep on trying.
Long live Philly Ford.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm gonna get a shirt.
LL
Philly
PF.
Long live Philly Ford.
LLPF.
LLPF, man. Long live Philly Ford, man.
Hashtag
the
LLPF.
Inventor of the dome light.
Matter of fact, it's right there. It's gonna be right there.
You're gonna have a dome light.
In my post editing, I'm gonna put LLPF. Probably put a little dove with the leaf in his mouth. The Noah's Ark thing. You remember Noah?
Why would you do that though?
That's the,
Were you
rest in
like
peace.
R.I.P. in him?
He's dead.
He is dead, but
I hope he rests.
that's not.
I
what
hope
I'm
it's
saying.
peacefully.
But what I'm
I
saying,
want him to rest in that peace. We said long live Philly Ford, but he dead. So he's not gonna live. Someone tell him rest in peace with the little dove.
what I was saying was
Okay.
since he was the inventor of the dome light candle, what we should have instead of the dove is maybe the candle and it was on fire and showing the dove getting fucked up as to why. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to
what
put
if-
all it. Bro,
I'm just
the
saying.
man is gone.
I'm just saying, like, yo,
His
the
grandkids
dove-
could be looking at this right now.
the dove, like, for what? He gave us Philly Ford.
Philly Ford.
He didn't have a middle name. It wasn't Philly. Like,
Nah, he didn't even know how to spell his first and last name. Why you gonna make it harder for him?
I'm just asking.
Just give him a first and last.
All right, Philly
He
Ford.
he had just learned how to spell Philip.
So what was he? Was he Nick? So Philip was his name then,
Philip Ford.
but we call him Philly.
Philly Ford. Yeah. I believe that's what we made up when we first started talking about it.
Hey, and you want to get a dove with,
Hey,
with an olive
fun
branch?
fact. He hated Philly cheesesteaks. That is true. He found that out in 1935. Oh,
He's never been to Philadelphia. Never been to Philadelphia.
so you don't think
But
nobody
the man hated,
despised.
despised.
What's worse than hate and despise? That is what it was. That word, whatever word that is, if it ain't made up yet.
He did it. He made it up for that sandwich.
So if I Philly Ford you, it's a lot of syllables to say, but like it ain't like,
Yo,
like
that dude got Philly
imagine
Ford.
you sending your daughter to a
Philly Ford. That's only two, really.
imagine
Philly
your
Ford.
daughter sending your daughter
You got
to her
Philly
room.
Forded.
Imagine your daughter going to her room, stumping up the stairs after you just sent her upstairs,
Okay.
took her phone or tablet, and she slams the door and yells, "I Philly Ford you."
That's like saying "fuck you, pops."
And I hate you, but worse. I Philly Ford.
So what are you? Wow, I'm gonna start saying it to people. Man, Philly Ford you. I Philly Ford you. That's 4 syllables. You need to shorten it up a little bit.
I Philly Ford you. That's literally 6. How, you counted Philly as one.
Philly.
You said I Philly Ford you.
I
You got 2 hands. Use them.
wait.
Okay.
I Philly.
Philly is 2 syllables.
Okay, Philly
There you go.
Ford you. So instead
I
of
Philly
Ford,
Ford you. 5 syllables.
that's why I said 5.
Okay.
I Philly, but it could be I Philly Ford you. It could be 4 words.
Philly
4
is
words. It's 5 syllables.
Okay.
It's 4 words.
Were you counting words or syllables?
I'm counting words now,
Okay.
just because I don't look as silly by saying syllables and giving you only 4 when I know it's 5. So
He just found out it's 5 when he counted on his hand, but we'll go with it.
I did say 5. I did say 4 when I said 5. When it was 5, yeah. But
It's
yeah, I
always
Philly
5.
Ford you. That's like saying I hate you. Is it saying I hate you?
No.
Or fuck.
Hate. It's worse than hate. Because I don't know the word for worse than hate.
We're gonna say that that's the word.
Philly Ford. Yeah.
Philly Ford.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Philly
as a
Ford. So-
father, if your daughter stumps upstairs,
Oh,
slams the door,
man.
not I hate you. I Philly Ford you.
Man.
And you
What
know
did
what it means.
What did you do? But if the only thing you did,
You put
I'm
chocolate
sorry,
in her milk instead of strawberry.
see, then I wouldn't feel
Because y'all
bad.
was
I wasn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel bad. Like if my daughter, now it has to
you
be.
didn't let her go out with her friends, and it was the biggest party of the year.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Because if being the biggest party of the year, some shit might happen. I'm good with her not going. I'm not gonna be mad at that. But if she's
Can
10,
you come back? Can
if
you?
she's 10 and she's telling me that because I took her tablet because she was listening or watching something she shouldn't have, or some shit that she had done, or she talked back and she was like, well, I Philly forward you. I don't give a fuck about that.
That's still like if I heard it, like if we was at your house.
No, I probably
if we was
go
at your
back
house
in my
watching a
room,
football
yeah.
game. That's one of them things like we all sitting in your living room and she walks away like I'm Philly for everybody. Oh, hey, easy. Like everybody like turns Italian at least.
Right.
Like
hey, forget about it, man. Hey,
right.
Everybody, hey.
Well, we don't say
You
that.
Philly 40? Hey, it's your pops over here, you know?
Right.
Hey, you gonna give him a hug, you know?
Right.
Hey, you don't Philly forward.
Right. You might hate him.
You
You
don't Philly forward your
You might
pops.
hate him.
You might not even hate him. You might dislike him a lot.
Strongly.
Like where you're like, oh, I really
Wait
dislike
a second, because you saw what I just did. Philly Ford opens the door, hating be okay. Because strongly dislike and dislike is one back from hate.
Right.
So you shifted over where Philly Ford exists. Now hate, now, like I said, you don't Philly Ford him.
You don't Philly
You
forward.
hate him. You don't Philly Ford him though.
If you get Philly forwarded, you know what? There's a lot of people that Philly Ford Diddy right now.
I remember my first Philly Ford.
Do you?
I just made Philly Ford up like a little bit ago, but I feel like I got Philly Forded and I didn't know the word for it. Or I don't think it was that. I think I Philly Forded somebody. I didn't have the word.
They made.
It was like I said it. I said Philly Ford, but it hadn't been created yet. So basically, if you saw my transcript and what I said written out, it was just a line, an underline where you can put in that. So I need to find that transcript so I can write Philly Ford in it. But I have Philly Forded people.
I have two. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I was
But there
younger
was no,
when I did.
and you
it.
didn't be, and you were like, oh,
No.
like you didn't know the words to say.
No, I didn't. And I hated I hated more than just the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying? I hated them. Like if they died in front of me, I wouldn't feel sorrow. Or if they was on fire,
If they died,
I wouldn't piss on them to make them.
If they died in front of me,
if they were
I
dismembered
would want to die again.
I would just be like, oh man, that's actually pretty dope. You know, I mean, I've done that, but like I said, that was like I don't Philly Ford anybody right now. I can't think of anybody. I am a sports guy. Okay, if I Philly Ford anything, I Philly Ford the Dead Sox. I Philly Ford the Celtics. I Philly Ford any sports team from the Connecticut area, like the UConn women basketball team, men's team, anything in that area, I Philly Ford it sports wise.
Right,
like
right.
I don't like Duke. I don't like UK. I Philly Ford Duke. Now,
Got it.
just because I do way more than fucking hate them, I don't disrespect them either. I don't say, you know, as much as I hated the New England Patriots, I'm not going to be like, well, they sucked and they weren't a good team. If you're a fan of the game, you're going to be like, okay, you know what? And even if you don't do it out loud, like some people don't even want to admit it. Like,
Right.
they're good. Even if you say it to yourself, like, fuck, man, you know, like them, they really were good.
It hurts coming
It
out.
hurts when you say it out loud. I
Right.
get it. But if you don't acknowledge it, it's like when you're good and your team, because there's times when the team that I rooted for fucking killed whoever and was the greatest.
Right,
and
right.
if you didn't tell me, and it was like, you fucking lying. You're lying that we weren't dope this year. You obviously didn't watch the games, didn't see nothing, didn't see the fun. Because if you're gonna say, oh man, y'all still suck, and we won the chip, you know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, I'm not a hater of the accomplishments, but I do Philly Ford. Oh, I Philly Ford the Patriots. I don't Philly Ford the Cowboys. I laugh at them most of the time because I think it's funny.
They're not really a threat anymore.
They haven't been in
Right.
so long. that it's ridiculous. So it's not like I Philly for. I mean, I don't Philly for Patrick Mahomes. I don't root for Patrick Mahomes. I went for the Eagles, and it wasn't because I was tired of seeing Patrick win because, they were going for the three-peat. It was just more like
I like parody.
I didn't think that they played. I didn't think they were going to win because if you watch the games all year long, you saw where they were barely winning every single. So when they didn't win or they went against a formidable defense, it was like, are you that surprised? So I don't Philly forward the Kansas City Chiefs. I do Philly forward the Patriots. Yes, again, like I said, I'll say it again because I got a tattoo on my leg that says Buck Foston because I fucking hate that team that plays against the Yankees. That's their rival. And I didn't want to write the word fuck or Boston on my leg because I do have kids, and I didn't want them to look at my leg and be like, man, my pop's got the word fuck tattooed on his leg. No, it does say Buck and it does say Foston.
But even without that, it's like a cool little mix up.
Yeah, just to let them know. But I haven't Philly forwarded a person like in a long time. Like I said, I was a kid last, and it was a hate thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all.
So it was less than Philly Ford.
I shouldn't have even hated because you know what? It was at a time where it was more or less like she chose him and not me, and I was like, fuck that nigga.
I was like hating.
It was hating. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pure D, 100% unadulterated hating. And then after I got told by an old head, nigga, stop fucking hating, get another chick. It was like, oh, all right. But that was the last time that I Philly forwarded another person. Teams, I do it all the time. I mean, even in tennis or golf or somebody I go for. And when it comes to golf or tennis, I always go for the Americans first.
I do that too, and I was like,
they never last as long as the rest of those.
That's
people.
what my girlfriend be saying about
me.
And I was like, rest of the people, and then I quickly got past it, but whatever.
I mean, they're better a lot of times. I mean, we get far enough, but then I go from. It's just like the Olympics. You know who I go for? I go for the USA all day, 100% in the Olympics until they get beat, and then you know who I go for?
Who?
All the Hispanic teams. Whoever, especially in like the soccer or the World Cup, we go for USA in the World Cup, and we know we're not going for. So me and my brother always be like, well, I'm probably going to go for Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, any of the Hispanic teams. Even though England is good, but France is good. Sometimes Germany is, they're good, but I'm not going to go for any of them before I go for any more Hispanic teams. I just go for the Hispanic teams first.
Right.
It ain't nothing against nobody else. It's like, oh, well, I just go for them. And then when there's no, I remember, I think one World Cup was Germany against France. And honestly, I didn't give a fuck who won. They had more. And they both had just, it wasn't like it was a bunch of white boys against a bunch of another white boys. Both teams were integrated.
Right.
It ain't like you don't have black Germans or black French people. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like I was just like, well, hopefully we have a good game, whatever. And I think France won, or I don't, just because I don't even remember because it didn't matter. I do know that the women's soccer team is dope as fuck.
Let me make a statement. I do like, and I do go for all the American teams on any sport except for beach volleyball. I'm Team Brazil.
All day.
Every day.
I'm team any Hispanic in beach and regular, even in the gym volleyball. Because
I'm automatically.
Do you know
Brazil.
that the Olympics are coming to LA in 2028? You know they're going to LA. I'm going. I don't give a fuck what I'm gonna see something.
That's 100-year anniversary of the recall letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
1927, 1928. 1928 to 2028.
That is the 100-year anniversary of the recall. So hopefully they show some shit about that,
Right.
about the recall. Just so y'all know, we still got Philly Ford on the brain.
And hey, give my boy a shout out, because I feel like he got lost to history.
He did.
But we not gonna let that happen.
You know what? When we go to the Olympics, I'm gonna have a shirt. I'm not gonna have LL. I'm gonna have Long Live Philly Ford. I should put Philip. And then on the back,
give him
Philly.
Give him the respect that he does.
Yeah,
put his name. Put what his mama named him on the front.
His government was Philip Ford.
Philip Ford. Philip, no middle name Ford.
Philip, we're not gonna put no. We're just gonna.
I was saying it out loud.
Okay.
So nobody would be like, where's
and then on the
name?
back we would put Philly, because those who knew would be like, yeah, we called him Philly, man. Philly the fuck up. No, I'm just.
It's crazy that all them people should be dead now, but.
Ooh, they should.
That's another 3 years too. If you was alive and an adult to remember Philly Ford,
you're gonna be at the Olympics in another 3 years. Yeah, you should be dead.
You should be old and dead, unless you're a young person. Unless you're a young person that morphed to kill their parent
and then stayed as a child,
right?
Because if you came back, then how would you? Because what if your daughter? If you can't stay as a morphed child.
No, don't stay as that's weird.
No, I'm saying
the first time you got to use the restroom, that's weird. For you to be a grown man to turn to a little girl, the first time you got to use the restroom.
See, there's a lot
to unpack. We're going to pack this box up and send it away.
No, we're not going to.
We're returning this box.
No, we're not. I don't know about more, and you can't. I don't want to stays. I would rather morph into, man, okay, when you morph, could it be something even, okay, you're saying morph into could you morph into something like, okay, say you weren't, I wanted to morph into the same size as, let's say, The Rock. Could I morph into The Rock? Not necessarily his face.
Okay, do you want to beat up Kevin Hart? Because you can use that.
I don't need The Rock to beat up.
I know, but they're like best friends. So then you'll ruin their friendship.
You know what?
I'm being real cynical right now.
I'm not a Kevin Hart hater, nor am I like a huge fan of Kevin Hart. He is funny. In certain instances, he kind of, okay, you know how some people don't know when to stop sometimes?
Right. You got to you got to grind it till it's.
Yes, you got to grind it until there's nothing left, I guess. But I don't know if there has to be a pause. There has to be like if you're going and you're going so far where I can't hold you back, and I'm like, hey, come on back, chill out, calm down, and you don't receive that. Like, okay, I see I'm going too far. I need to chill out. I need to calm down. And you're like, well, no, I need to keep going. Then that would make you annoying.
Right.
And so I think sometimes in the movies that I watch with him, I'll be like, is he going to stop? No, he doesn't.
Him and The Rock play the same characters in every single movie.
Yeah, don't get me, you know what I like The Rock? I like The Rock in Black Adam.
I like The Rock and he was all right on that.
No, I liked it because he was not the good guy. He was like an asshole. He was
like the anti-hero though.
And he was, how many times have you seen The Rock kill somebody and them not be a bad person? Like he was killing like soldiers and all kinds of
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, he was on some The Rock. He was on some shit right there. But I even saw him on Jungle. I think it was called Jungle, something in the Jungle, where he actually, at the end of the movie, you found out he was actually older than he really was, because at one point in time he fell out the boat or over a waterfall, and he hit a rock. And if anybody, I know it sounds funny, The Rock hit a rock, but if anybody else, if I would have hit that rock going how like he did, I would have been dead. But he didn't die. So when I saw him later in the movie, I was like, oh, he is a ghost, or he's one of those. He couldn't die because of some.
What movie is this?
River. No, not. Even though he is Hawaiian or Samoan, and there was a white girl in there, and it could have been Jungle Fever. I don't. It could have been, but it wasn't. It was Jungle River, Jungle Cruise. It was something. I know. To me, I think that if he really wanted to, he could have. I mean, now that you find out that he's actually like 900 years old, he could have baited into chicken, probably smash, behind the scenes type shit. If there wasn't a camera and it wasn't turning into a movie and it was real life shit. But it wasn't, and it
Right.
was a movie. And, but Kevin Hart, who's your favorite comedian? Or unless you have something else.
I was gonna wrap it up after this so we can make
Well,
it.
there it
We're just
is.
gonna make it up into
Oh,
a
it
couple
is
parts.
12:30.
Yeah, we're just gonna make it a couple parts.
And I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm already.
No, like we're gonna do it.
No. We're gonna go. I'm just talking about me driving home. Nigga, shit, it's 12:30, and I've been sipping.
Right.
No, I'm good.
So this is part 1. I don't know how many parts it's gonna be, but I do know this is the first one.
I do know the next time I sit on this chair, I'm gonna have a cushion because my ass is fucking like whoa. And I gotta.
He said his
Anyways.
ass is like, whoa.
Yo, that shit.
That's
is hard.
Maya's son.
Who?
My body's like, whoa.
No, nigga.
And he said, my ass like, whoa.
I said
and
it
you're
like I
kissing
said it
Nick.
like your boy Black
he said
Rob.
He said his ass was like, whoa. But whatever.
Black Rob didn't say whoa. Like whoa.
Yeah, but he didn't say his ass was.
No.
Maya said her ass was like, whoa. You don't know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah, and that's not what I'm talking
Those are the
about.
words you use, Swellz.
They were the words I used.
That's all I'm saying.
My
The
ass
D.I. Joe,
not.
D.I.C. K Riders ain't. Whatever.
Yo,
Hey, long live Philly Ford.
long live Philly Ford and morphing into
Anybody, little girls, old
Anybody.
people. The
but
Rock.
as long as you come back. Rock, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Anyways. But yeah, long live Philly Ford.
All right. That's the FO show. We out. Peace.
Holla.